Okay, in this video I'm going to talk about the preference plots, which I hadn't talked about in any other video so far. So I'm going to load just a few files. So preference is basically just either, let's see if I look here, there's two versions of the preference, which is either preference for one side, so left or right, or preference for a certain content. So if you have liquids loaded, you can say preference for certain content. You can also make average versions of these. So side preference, you can either select if you want the preference for the right, so percentage of time the left bottle was picked or percentage of time the right bottle was picked. You can also say if you want the drink count or the drink duration to be used to calculate these. So I'm going to just do this and do side preference, and then you'll see this one has, this preference for mostly the left side until later in the recording. Okay, if we load content into these, I just have Pepsi and Coke loaded, and I've assigned it here, and then I should be able to do content preference. And here, this is showing how these two are inverse, because there was only a choice between these two, so they should add up to 100%. So if you wanted to limit it to just showing one, which would be useful, then you can just select one of them. And I'm just going to do this right-click, replot with current settings to do that quickly. Yeah, and one thing to know about the content is that when I say I want the preference for Coke, that just means whenever Coke was in the bottle, I want to see how often it chose Coke relative to whatever else was in the other bottle. So, if I had, a bunch of rows where I had Coke, but then the left bottle was changing, it's just going to keep showing that preference for Coke relative to whatever was in the other bottle. So that's just something to note. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I think that's it for preference plots. Again, you can make an average with these. I'm not going to go into that right now. But yeah.